We are getting closer to Election Day. Thanks for joining us here on Local Decision 2024. I'm Eric Nelson, and joining us is Jill Hunt, running for City Council in Lexington. Jill, thanks so much for stopping by, and we always start out by asking the candidates to tell the viewers a little bit about themselves and why you're running for office.
I've lived in Lexington for 39 plus years. I think we need some little changes there, some new faces in the council meetings, and get people to come to the meetings because nobody ever goes.
Can you expound on the changes you'd like to see?
Well, some of our water situation is bad. We need some inclusion and diversity there. We have a lot of diversity now that we did not have years ago. There's a lot of population in Little Lexington now.
Yeah.
So,
what's the value of people going to those council meetings? Because a lot of people, they're like, they think it's boring, which isn't true, but
it is not true.
Why should they go?
So they know what's going on in our city instead of complaining about it and doing nothing about it. So that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. What would make you a good person to be on the council? What in your past gives you, the good experiences one needs?
I've seen some things that go on in the city because I've lived there for so long. My husband worked there for many years, now retired from there. Mm-hmm. So we just need some new things coming up here. We just do.
What do you like about Lexington right now?
The nice, safe community it is. It's very safe where we live. That's probably my biggest thing. And I love the Little League involvement there. It's huge. That Little League involvement is huge. So, and they need to maybe recognize that a little more because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, convenience, the stores are close.
What don't you like?
The taxes. The taxes are a little much for me. Some of the bias that goes on maybe at City Hall is probably not so good anymore.
Would you try to address the tax issue if you're on the council?
Yes. Yes. And I have tried to do that, but it doesn't do me any good when I'm not a voice.
How do you do that?
Maybe ask why our taxes are so high when we've gotten so many new residents, so many big apartment buildings in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Lexington is more diverse than it's ever been. How do you make everybody feel welcome, like they're valued?
We need to get them involved in some of these meetings and try to talk to them. Some of them don't speak English. Maybe have an interpreter when we need to go to like the Lexington Lofts, or I know that's the biggest one that's diversified. I'm not so sure about the other ones because they're way more expensive, but I know that I think it's the Lexington Lofts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of diversity in that building.
Do you have any other budget priorities besides trying to get the taxes down?
Maybe our police budget, I think. We have 3 or 4, we have 4 bars in Lexington, and that's a lot of police calls, but they don't always live in Lexington that get called.
Right.
So that's another one, the police budget maybe. Maybe some public works things that maybe are maybe unnecessary.
With your husband being in public works, do you feel like you obviously have a knowledge of how that works? Mm-hmm. Would that help you too when situations arise that deal with public works?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot about it.
So what makes a good public works department in your opinion?
Everybody doing their job as they're told, or maybe treating people better a little bit sometimes. Some things have been done that should probably not be done, and yeah.
I know it feels like summer now, but rumor has it we're going to get snow and ice here at some point. Mm-hmm. Is the Public Works Department in Lexington, do you feel like they do a good job getting the salt down, clearing the roads,
they do
plowing?
Good. They do good. including my husband who did that for 15 years. So yeah, I think they do okay there. Yeah. Yeah.
What about parks, trails? Where does Lexington rank?
We only have the Lexington ballpark. We have little parks for the kids, but the Lexington ballpark is really the only park we have. As far as trails or anything, we don't really. We have one that goes through to Carner Blue.
Yeah.
But you can't walk in there when the kids are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, that's about it. Lexington is a small town, or a small city, I should call it.
And you talked about the Little League. I know we did a story for North Metro about a cleanup they had back in the spring, which was impressive. You had parents, kids, brothers, sisters, everybody seemed to show up and team up.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It is. It's very impressive. It's just, they run a great show there for those kids. I cannot believe the cars that are there when there's tournaments. There's a lot of cars. And we'll walk down there to get dinner sometimes, have a hot dog or a hamburger. Or they run a good show down there, and people come from all over the place to play there, all over the place. And the city's not too much on board with that, and I find that crazy.
Is there a way to monetize that? I mean, if people are coming here from other cities, is there a way for Lexington to capitalize on that? They should,
but sometimes they get kind of shoved back.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it brings a lot of business to our little city. You want to go to Dairy Queen on the day of a of a tournament? There's a lot of people there. Festival, the restaurants. I don't know what else we have. Well, Carboni's, yeah. The bars. I know that the Boulevard, they have to put on extra staff when they have the tournaments because people go there and eat lunch. And so yeah, it's a big deal for the city. A bigger deal, I think, than some people think it is. They need to come down and look and just, wow, this is crazy. So,
how do you spend your free time in Lexington?
Oh, well, I sew at 3 churches for charities. I have 9 grandkids, so I spend a lot of time with them. It's football season, so tonight we have a football game at Camden, which used to be Patrick Henry. So that's tonight. And I'm actually going to Uganda in November on a mission trip.
Wow.
Yeah, so what else do I do? I sew with a couple groups of friends, and because when a golfer doesn't quit golfing, they keep golfing, and a sewer doesn't quit sewing, they keep sewing. So that's what that is.
So you stay busy.
I stay very busy.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of free time, which is okay. Keeps me young.
So can you add the being on the council to your already full plate?
Yep, that's a good night for me because it's only twice a month, and any other little things thrown in there, I'm good. And it's close to home. I mean, I could walk there, so.
So if you get on the council, are there some things you want to focus on and accomplish?
Yes. Number 1 is treating people better at the council meetings. We had Diane quit because she was being bullied, and that is not right. So, and I won't tolerate it. Ask my grandkids.
Crack the whip, huh?
Yeah. So I think that's my biggest issue right now, that Diane quit, and I mean, she was on there for a long time. Why did she quit? You know? And that's what I've been told, is that she couldn't take the bullying anymore. So we're going to fix that. We're going to try to fix that.
So I sense that your opinion is that the council's maybe a bit fractured, or there's. Can you build bridges? Can you bring it more together?
We're going to try. Barb and I are going to try if we get in. We are going to try. She's a great business person and a great person and has a lot of knowledge about the city. So she used to be a council member.
Yeah.
And then she got busy, so now she's backed off a little bit and has more time.
So are you out knocking on doors? Are you trying to kind of get the pulse of the city?
We haven't yet, but we have some plans. We have some things in order to do that. So, yeah, we have Lexington Days coming up. We're going to try and hang out there, which is, I think, next weekend. So,
what do you think you'll hear from the residents?
Well, I think a lot of it, the complaint is the water. The water situation is bad. I know that's one of the complaints. And then I don't really know, I know that people go to the city and complain, and they aren't treated very well sometimes when they go there. I've not had that experience, but it seems like they pick and choose what they want to pick on. Like right now it's trees, cut your trees down. But you should see all the junk in people's yards that nobody does anything about. So that's another issue I have. My blood pressure goes up when I see those junk houses. And there's a story for that, but
what can the city do about that?
well, they need to be more proactive about it and get on these people. So, should I tell you what my experience was or not?
Yeah, as long as it's PG, we're good.
It's PG.
Okay.
We had a car in our yard with expired tabs.
Right.
This was years ago. It turned into a warrant, which we did not know. My husband went to jail for that. They surrounded him and put him in jail for that warrant.
Wow.
For a car with expired tabs. I see them all over the place now.
That was in your driveway, not physically moving on the road.
No, it was not on the road. It was in our driveway. Yeah. And it turned into a warrant. And they saw him driving, not that car. They saw him driving, and they surrounded him. 3 police officers surrounded him on the street behind us while he was going to the store in a different car because there was a warrant. And then they called me and they said, "You better come and get your husband." I said, "What? Where is he?" "Well, we're arresting him for a junk vehicle violation." I said, "What?" But they're all over the city now, and nobody does anything about it. And if they do, I don't see anything happening. So that's another big complaint I have.
Anything else you want to address?
I think that's good. I think we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we always wrap up by letting the candidate tell the viewer why should they vote for you, Jill?
Please vote for me, Barb, and Gary. We're going to really try our best to answer your questions, try to get your answers, try to make some friendliness at the city, diversify some of that stuff. We just need some change. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming down.
You're welcome. Thank
All right.
you.
Yep. She's Jill Hunt, running for City Council in Lexington. This is Local Decision 2024.